Sons of Soul Records is starting, and I'm going hot and heavy, but I'm working. Remember, I have the job, I got a family going now, I got young kids, and this music's always been a love of mine and a passion and a hobby of mine. And I got my hand in a bunch of other things too besides this music. I do volume 1, and then I do volume 2 by myself. You know, all these crazy group harmony records that I had that I released for the first time ever. You know, and then volume 3 comes around. I'm doing volume 3. By the time I get to volume 4, I'm on MySpace and I'm meeting people, and now we got the social media platform working in our favor and spreading this music. You got other collectors, you know, exposing rare music from all over the place, and it's really, I can see it really happening. Like, it's unfolding. Like, wow, this thing's really snowballing and growing into this bigger and bigger and more people, because everybody's always loved oldies. Oldies is part of the culture, but like this rare oldies is really catching on now. You know, like it's like I already knew that this can be the next big thing. Like this rare soul sound is like the next huge thing. Now I got my CDs out there, and I'm legit. I put my information out there. I put my name. I put my MySpace. I put all my info. Get a hold of me, talk to me, whatever. So I started getting some, not fan mail, but I started getting like on MySpace, people hitting me up, like, "Hey man, what the like tripping out and nice to meet you." Like, and a lot of people thought that I was just some older guy, you know, because no one remembered. There's really no internet, so no one could see who's behind the music. So I would always get like, "Man, I thought you were like 50 years old. I thought you were some old veterano like doing this, you know, like how are you so young and you know all this music?" But people are just mind blown just by that fact alone, you know, that we started so young doing this, you know, with that kind of knowledge and that kind of ambition, what we did with Lost Soul and rolling over into what I've been doing. I'm still relatively young. People just thought I was like some old veterano dude, and I'm like, they see me on MySpace, like, what the fuck? Like, there's no way this is you. I'm like, yeah. So anyway, there's a couple people hitting me up, and this one person in particular, he's like, "Hey man, I really love your oldies." Like he came at me like a fan. So we hit it off really good, and we're talking, and he knew his oldies, you know, because he, of course, from the previous years, he was buying all the Lost Souls, he was buying the Tokers, he was buying anything that was a rare compilation. This guy was buying. And he knew his music, so we're chopping it up like, cool, like, "Oh man, I can relate to you." And he was like my age too, like, or maybe a little bit younger. So we're really chopping it up, man. I'm like, "Hey, what's up, bro? Like, what do you know?" Like, he goes, "Yeah, man. You know, I live over here in Monte." And I'm like, "Oh fuck!" I said, "I live in Amani. You know, like I'm right here in Monte." "Oh, no way." But yeah, you know, is it cool if I meet you? Like, it was like, he was like, "Is it cool if I like meet you, man?" Like, I'm not trying to be weird, but like, I'm like, "Yeah, bro. Like, listen, I'm down. Like, you know, because I see this as a business, and I'm trying to like be friendly and trying to like really meet and greet, you know, type shit. You know, not that I'm any rock star, but here's a dude saying that he enjoys what I do. You know, he loves the music. So, and he literally ended up living about 4 miles away from me, and I go to meet him. And the dude was down to earth. We met, we kicked it off. And I'm like, "What's up, man? My name's George." He goes, "Hey, what's up, man? My name's Bobby." You know, so his name's Bobby Medina. I wanted to help the guy a lot, you know, because he was a really cool person and he had his little hustle going on. And I was too busy working. So it kind of worked out because I would have Bobby help me out looking for records, you know, because now we got eBay going on, right? We got like websites going on, like Craig Moore, there's .coms, and he was really computer savvy. You know, so he was always in front of his computer, and he was really computer savvy with just being on the computer, you know, because he wasn't working. That was like his hustle, like doing what he had to do on the computer. So I would give him a list of records. I'm like, "Here, bro, this is what I'm looking for." Because he asked me, like, "How could I help you, man? I want to be down with this. You know, I want to be down with this, what you're doing. I really see the big picture." Like, he was like me, you know, when I joined Lost Soul. Like, he was in it for the movement of it, you know. And I seen that it was just genuine. And I'm like, "Yeah, bro, like, if you want to help me, then here, bro, here's what I'm looking for." And he didn't really know any records of that caliber at that time. He knew his music and all that, and he wasn't really collecting records until he met me. And then he started buying these records because he was really liked it. You know, he was really like, wow. Like, and records were cheaper back then, more obtainable. They weren't like hundreds of dollars like they are now. You could still get a cool ass record for like 25, 30 bucks on eBay. So, long story short, man, Bobby Medina, I met him like in 2006, 6, maybe 7, something like that. And he helped me out for the first 6 months, man. He was really just my eBay guy. You know, I was at work and I would give him a list and he would call me on my, because we have cell phones now, the little Razor flip phones and shit. Nothing crazy. You still couldn't get on the internet with your phone. It was just a phone. It was a cell phone. And he's calling me and he's like, hey bro, like I found this record you were looking for. It's a bid right now. And he was that guy, man, that helped me snatch those records, you know? Like I was at work. When I was at work and I couldn't bid on the record, Bobby was the one bidding on the records for me. He would call me literally like 2 minutes before it. And hey man, I found this you know, the Willpower record you wanted, you know, the I forgot the name of the group, but it's on Willpower, very expensive record now. It's like at $200. What do you want to do? And I would tell him like, bro, you know what? Just put like 400 max bid, I'll pay for it. Because he would be logged into we grew a trusting relationship to where he would be in my eBay account, right? So it'd be like me bidding. So he's logged in my eBay account. I'm like, bro, just put 400 on it or whatever. He's all right. I'm like, but wait till like the last like 10 seconds before you do it. So I was teaching him the ropes in the game about how to bid and how to get records. And he was winning records for me, man. And I was paying for him. But without Bobby's help doing that, a lot of these songs on Gangster Soul Harmony would have never seen the light of day because I wouldn't have won them, you know? So I already knew when I won these rare records, I already knew that I was going to further share them with the masses because I had this outlet, you know, these CDs. And that was my passion. My drive was to really share it with everybody, like get it out there and let people hear it, and just let them see the culture behind it. You know, with the drawings and the prison art and the whole package. You know, I just wanted to share with the world. And Bobby was down with it. So Bobby was winning a lot of records for me on eBay. I mean, I was paying for him, but he was putting the time in. You know, and he started venturing off on his own. You know, he started like coming across records that I didn't know. He started learning records. Just by being on eBay so much, he started coming across records that he liked, right? And so he started saying, hey man, like, you know, if I find a really nice record, could we put it on Gangster Soul Harmony? Like, but for me, like it'd be my record. I'm like, you know what? This dude's cool. Like he already proved his worth, that he's a homie and he's down. I was like, yeah, bro, you know what? I'm gonna make you like an executive producer. Like I'm gonna bring, like kind of like what Robert and Sal didn't really do for me immediately, I wanted to do for him because I was in control. So I give him, yeah, bro, this is how we're gonna do it. You know, whatever songs you bring to the table, when the CD gets made, I'll give you a cut of the CDs, or if you want some money for the record, I'll pay you out, you know, for it. So I was putting money in his pocket, you know. So he usually took the CD chunk route, you know. So I'd make 1,000 units of CDs, and if Bobby contributed like 4 or 5 records to the compilation, he was happy to have his name on the back of the compilation, which I put his own shout out section. And I got to know his family, love his family, his wife and his kids. And we pretty much did that for the next couple of years, you know, that relationship where, you know, we're helping each other. He's putting on his records and I'm giving him a chunk of the compilation. So I'd make 1,000 CDs and I would go, here, Bobby, here's like 300 CDs for you. Or here's like 350 CDs for you, bro. Like, that's all your money. Because he would wholesale them. He would put them on eBay for like $15.99 because he had his own eBay account now. So he has an income now coming in, you know, with all the compilations that we're making. So I'm helping him out and he's doing that. But meanwhile, now he got bit by the collector bug. And now he's buying all these records and he's finding his own self. He's finding his own flavor, his own style of music. And after a couple of years, you know, I guess what we were doing just wasn't enough for him. So, you know, we started coming up with these other oddball CDs just to generate money. When we did these oddball CDs like World Famous Oldies or Sweet Soul Rolas or mid-tempo Sweet Soul Rolas and all these other stuff, we made those CDs with all the music that never made it on Gangster Soul Harmony because he collected a lot of records that I didn't, you know, it wasn't really my flavor, or it wasn't really for Gangster Soul Harmony. It wasn't rare enough, or it didn't have a certain sound that I wanted to portray for the record label. But they were really good songs, don't get me wrong. They just weren't good enough for the vision I had of what I wanted Gangster Soul Harmony to be. So all these songs over the couple of years accumulated. So now with all these records, and even I had songs that were fillers that I really didn't care about. So we were like, what are we gonna do with these records? And Bobby had an idea. Hey, well, I'm gonna make these CDs. I won't put our name on it. We'll just create some random CDs. It's good music. It's not out there. No one knows it. And it's good music. It's not the rarest or craziest, but it's good enough to where it will generate money and people will buy it. And it's a win-win for everybody. So, we were behind a lot of crazier CDs that no one really knows that we were behind. Like I said, we were behind the world famous. We were behind the Sweet Soul Rolas, the Mid-Tempo Soul Rolas. And then I did like up to 3 volumes with him on each of those, straight from vinyl. And then he ended up just taking it over because it was just too much for me to take on. I had this label to worry about, so he had more free time than I did because I was still working. So he was really pushing the agenda of putting out more and more and more and more music. So he started coming out with other compilations that he was creating, like Journey of Soul. And man, I can't even remember all the compilations that he came out with, but the dude had a bunch of records that we didn't use for Gangster Soul. And he ended up finding his own style, his own music, and coming out with those compilations. And I guess, by a couple of years of that, we kind of split ways. I had my 10-year anniversary party in 2015. It was probably the last time that me and Bobby actually, as a duo in this record label, did anything together as a team. And then from that point forward, I already saw what he was doing and where he was going with his projects. And the only thing I could do is let the bird fly. That's my piece to him. And he's doing his thing, man. So yeah, Bobby Medina was a part of Gangster Soul Harmony. I mean, that's pretty much in a nutshell Gangster Soul Harmony. And it wasn't just me. It was my idea and all that, but I did meet people along the way, and Bobby Medina was one of them. That's why his name's on the back of most of those CDs. So, big gracias to you, Bobby. Thank you for your involvement and your contributions. And, best of everything to you, brother. There was another individual who, it's only right that I mention names on my journey of this, because that's what it was. It was a learning experience. So there was another individual with my volume 4. He went by the name of Albert Vizcarra. He cameoed on that volume as well. So just, gracias for that, brother. And after that compilation, and I decided to learn, I started learning like, hey, you know what, man, things were going a different direction, and I wanted to keep it true to myself. So from volume 5 on, I pretty much did it my way.